Greetings, distinguished comrades all over the globe, and greetings to all of us of the continent. I remain my humble self, Comrade Todo Daniel Enejo, and we are live on the program Vision for a New Africa. Now, from our last episode, after our introduction, then we'll talk about the main reason why we're starting this program. There is no freedom of Africa if the economic freedom of the continent is absent. Economic freedom is very, very essential, and it is to respect to this that my global leader of the United Pan-Africanist Movement, Engineer Dr. Benedicto Mbago, who came up with this initiative of the integration program. Now, the integration program is an initiative that tends to mobilize African resources globally, intellectually and financially, for the sole purpose of we achieving our economic prosperity. There are two ways to view a thing. Number one is to accept things the way they are, and number two is to build the right capacity and access superior knowledge to change things to be the way they ought to be. Dr. Dennis Wesley, I quote, "We must educate the average African child to come to the understanding that there is no superior race among the human race, but there is only superior knowledge. And any race that is able to access this knowledge automatically becomes the superior race. We must educate them to understand that." They say the promised land is filled with milk and honey. And we begin to wonder, what then is an exceptional milk and honey from a land whereby she is blessed with exceptional natural resources beneath it, and she is very, very fertile on the surface in terms of agriculture? So if the land is blessed with exceptional resources and very, very fertile at the top for agriculture, then we don't know of any better promised land than the land God Almighty has given to the African people and the African race, among all race. And we appreciate God for giving us this gift. And we must accept the responsibility of the fact that where we are, every single thing we are facing, the poverty, economic hardship and unemployment, bad governance, neo-colonialism and all the imperial system that has been troubling us, is not from God per se, but this is a failure on capacity development on our own part. And we must educate our children to take a different path from every single path we have taken from time past up to this time. Currently, there are over 1.5 billion African people in the continent. In the nearest 5 to 10 years to come, it is estimated that we will be above 2 billion people. When that future comes, how many of Europe people how many of the European countries or even the Asian country can accommodate us as a people? They cannot. So it is our responsibility to build a paradise on earth for the African people, and we must educate our children to understand that. Now, when it comes to the struggle and of the mental and economic liberation of our people, there is no liberation of our people without economic liberation. Economic liberation is the key. There was a man who said to a group of young Pan-Africanists who were fighting for the freedom of the continent during the apartheid time of Nelson Mandela and concurrently of that of late former President Paul Mugabe in Zimbabwe. He told these young Pan-Africanists who were in prison, he told them, he said, "There is something I love about you black people. You know how to fight, but the only problem is that you don't know how to win." That is not the first time we are getting that kind of a comment. There is also a book titled The Root Race, written by Melina Blavatsky. In a book, The Root Race, she was trying to justify the fact to her, which I see as something that is baseless, to talk about, to give her own point and reason that the black race lack the magnetic spark to be able to rule themselves, mental magnetic spark. But I think that is just a mere opinion. Now, as I was saying about the young men who were in prison, so fortunately, when Nelson Mandela was made the president of South Africa, and with time when Robert Mugabe was freed and eventually made the president of Zimbabwe, those young Africans were very, very happy, and they looked for the warder who had told them this negative thing back, and they traced him from Harare to where he was staying. And when one of them met him, he introduced himself and reminded the warder of what he told them in the prison. He told the warder, "You are wrong. Today we fought and we have won. At least Mandela is the president of South Africa and Robert Mugabe is the president of Zimbabwe, so we have won." And the warder laughed at him and said, "No, you don't understand." Gave him a drink and sat him down. That you don't understand. That when we started this whole struggle, we knew that the time was going to come when your population will grow and you will push and want power. But we have structured things in such a way that when that future comes, because if you put it on a democratic system, you have the population, and if it is by voting, you are going to win us. We structure it in such a way that when that future comes, the best of the power we can give you is political power, because there are two most powerful powers on earth. Political power, after the power of God Almighty, the two most powerful powers on earth are political and economic power. But among the two, we must never underestimate the power of economy. Economic power is the greatest. So he told him that the best we could give you people was political power. And when it comes to economic power, what are we talking about? We are talking about mechanized agriculture, production, banking, mining, etc., etc., manufacturing, and list it out, because that is where the whole milk is. That is what will give the employment. That is what will do every other thing. And even there is a book written titled "Why Nation Fail." If you look at that book critically, it says that when political power is not driving economic power, then she becomes useless. So he told them, he said, "No, you have gotten political power, but for economic power, will always be the one to be in charge of this." But that is an opinion, because when it comes to life, life is always a battle. It is a battlefield of knowledge, and he who has the superior knowledge automatically becomes the superior in the field. And that's why when it comes to economic power, I love the initiative of the integration program being introduced by the United Pan-Africanist Movement under the distinguished leadership of Comrade Engineer Benedicto Umbago and the leadership of the United Pan-Africanist Movement. Now, the integration program, what is this integration program all about? When we look at the poverty, the unemployment, bad governance, corruption, and all negative devices that is confronting us as a people globally, these negative devices, they don't care about our religion, they don't care about our tribe, and they don't care about our region while dealing with us. And in the course and the struggle and the fight for we looking for a solution that can tackle this problem for us, we must also keep all of these our differences aside, our religion, our tribe, and our region. For as long as you carry the black badge, we are one globally. And we must not forget what one of our founding fathers said, Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey says that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. He says that the strongest evidential fruit of ignorance is poverty. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter how you feel, to feel that yours is the best and the rest. Just look around your people. When they are all poor and they are handicapped, it means that what you are believing have a lot of deficiency in it, and you need to work on it. Now, what is the UPAM integration program all about? It is a movement. We are moving a movement that we are advancing around the globe to mobilize resources, intellectual, financially, and other resources to initiate this program. Now, this program has a lot of mega projects in it. Project in mechanized agriculture, energy, production, energy, banking and finance, housing and the rest. It is a well-packaged and designed program. And at the end of the day, since economic challenge is one of the strongest challenges we are facing, because the average African youth, they want jobs, they want centers where they can access skills that can make them employable. So at the end of this program, from the first phase, as the way it is estimated, we will have over 500,000 jobs in renewable energy alone. Talk more of mechanized agriculture, which is the milk hub of the world now. Then we'll have close to 3,000 jobs in telecommunication, 2,000 jobs in agriculture, 7,000 jobs in banking and finance, 52,000 jobs in real estate, 3,000 jobs in media, and 2,000 jobs in e-commerce and online marketing, then 900 jobs in information technology. This is what this project has the potential of driving for the first phase. The project is well articulated and well coordinated.